So these people have money. Like even during this lockdown, I was talking to one of my friends about this actually. We were saying how like, wow, all these medics are really like, she's also a medic. Well, like how all these medics are really exposing themselves and they're richer because they'll be taking videos, you know what I mean, of like, oh, lockdown, and then you just see their house, and it's not even a house, it's a mansion, or you'll see their like acres of land that they call their small garden, and you're just thinking like, wow, and here's me posting my YouTube videos of my, you know, doing fitness in my garden, which is they're probably thinking, oh, is that your front yard? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, Bristol's a rich place.
Yeah, so true. I think I was talking to one of my engineering friends, and I was like, "How are you going to deal with working from home?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll just go in my dad's workroom." I'm like, "Your dad's what?"
Yeah,
You have multiple
lifestyle.
rooms. Like, I'm literally sitting in my car right now.
Oh, sure. Well, you know, it is how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way life is.
Yeah. But
How do you
there's
find it
time for
interesting though?
it is interesting. It is. I think for me, my main thing is like because a lot of them are so like I don't know if it's the right word, but flippant about like how they live and like they're so like if of course I'm rich, of course I'm this, but I think like I don't actively seek to be rich, but I want to be comfortable, you know, and if by God's grace I am rich in the future, then I really want my life. Not that I'm going to be like making my child work and grind like how I did, because no, if I have money, then why does my child have to grind like that? But I would want them to have a really good understanding of like, fine, you don't have to grind for this money, but I did. Me and your father did have to grind. You know what I mean? So like, because sometimes I just look at them in my like tutorials and like they're so like, oh yes, of course I would have this money. I'm just like, well, it's like they have no understanding of what. I mean, maybe their parents got it from I don't know from their parents. Who knows? But I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't want that for myself or my children.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree. And I guess like not to generalize all the rich kids, but you definitely do see a difference between the entitlement of some kids and the hard, strong work ethic of others. Like
Mm,
I was saying to I think Doobie in like first or second year, like if if I was an adult now, my kid wouldn't have a phone. They wouldn't be out here with like the nicest shoes. I'll be like, you have to work for that. And obviously, like same as what you're saying, I'm not gonna work hard. Like I'm not gonna like grind my kids out, but there has to be a way to instill that
mm,
understanding of like what money means and what it means to work hard without
mm.
yeah, I don't know. It's a scary thought. And I really hope that my kids in the future don't end up being super entitled if by God's grace I make it.
Mm. Yeah, I hear that.
It's funny though, because my brothers now, I mean, we're by no means rich now, don't get me wrong, but my parents are obviously doing better off now than they were when they had me. Plus, obviously, I'm here to
Mm,
help. And it's like,
mm.
I had to sell so many sweets in school to get a PS4, whereas my little brother now just has mine. And I can see it now in real time, like, damn, even though these kids technically had to grind, like, why? They're just so entitled. It's just so weird. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be a
But
good
yeah,
dad, man.
but it
You just
happens,
stress
man.
me
It's
out.
like you're not gonna be you. I think you'll be a good dad. I think you say all this stuff like, oh, you're not gonna give your child this, but no, when they're little and you see like your reflection technically, you know, depending on how strong your genes are, you're gonna be like, oh, it's little Jordan. If he wants the PS3, PS4, I don't know games, but if he wants this, I'm gonna give it to him. All that stuff you're chatting about, I'm gonna make them. It's nonsense. Your child's gonna come up to you and be like, "Oh, daddy, can I have this, please?" You're gonna be like, "Yeah." You're gonna be like, you'll whip out the wallet and you'll be like, "Here you go, get this for my son." But you're not gonna do
That's
any
what
of that.
accent is that?
Whatever. Like I don't know. You can give them whatever they want.
Oh man, no, it is interesting. I definitely want to learn more
Yeah.
about not necessarily raising kids, but I want to know more about um, I guess leadership and positive influence. Because that's something you don't learn in school. That is super important when you get older.
I think that's something that you just generally learn in life. To be honest, like even with your friends, because like again, what I was saying when I was like reminiscing about the people I met in first year and like not talking to them. I was kind of like, okay, so like, let's see, why haven't I? Also, I realized that people take me way too seriously because like I put it on my story on Instagram. There, people have been like messaging me. It's just like honestly, guys, don't take me seriously at all. But like you have to think, okay, was this person a positive influence in my life, or is this person positive in general? Do you know what I mean? And like, I guess you can kind of like assess like their behavior, not like in depth, but like, okay, what if you think someone's positive? Let's take Mary. I hope I can say it, Mary Oki, for example. Yeah, like I absolutely love her. I think she's just great, like through and through. She's a nice, as far as I know, anyway. I don't really know what goes on in the depths of her life, but as far as I know, she's a great person. She's incredibly nice, love to everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like doesn't hate a single soul. And you think, and I think, I look and I think that's a positive influence. Like that's like positive, you know. And then I'll be like, okay, so what makes her so positive? It's the fact that she's so what's the not social, but so like she'll go to anyone and be like, hi, what's your name? Where are you from? I'm having this thing at my house. Come, do you know what I mean? Like that's the positive. That's a leadership in even in a way. Do you know what I mean? For the fact that for the fact that she didn't have to wait for that person to approach her, she was like, this I'm she went and introduced herself. She was like, this is me. I'm extending a hand of friendship towards you. If you like, you can receive my hand and come along. Do you know what I mean? Like even when it comes to like schoolwork, like she got an award in her intercalation. She did biochemistry as well. Like imagine, like she got an award for like I think one of the best grades or whatever her award was in. That's another positive aspect. That's another like leadership right there. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like, okay, I'm going into this not completely unknown, I guess, because I guess pre-med is a bit biochem, but she went into this whole new world. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is some areas of this is a bit new to me, new people, new way of learning or whatever. I don't know if it was actually, but she was like, I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to like do this. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And she did it. She conquered it. She got like a first and she got the award thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's how I would say that's how you can look at leadership, and that's how you can see things. Like you look at a person that you really like. I'm not even that close with Mary, but I can't like praise her enough. Like I just think she's such a. Obviously, I'll never say this to her face because I'm not that type of person that will praise you to your face because that's a wet. I would never do that. But I just think she's outstanding, to be honest, personally. But I think that's how I would do it. Like, or you look for like, you look just. I feel like you just look at friends, or you look at people, even if they're not your friend. Like, there's so many people that I'm not particularly friends with, or like I'm not particularly close with, but I see them. Like, even there's some people in like let's say medicine, like what's that girl's name? Like like she's in my tutorial, for example, in Bath. I won't say her name because I'm not close to her like that. But like I look at her and she's a bit annoying, I can't lie. But like I love her, like her work ethic is she is. But then her work ethic is so admirable. Do you know what I mean? It's so like wow. It's so like that's amazing. Like you could take stuff from that. So anyway, that was a really long-winded answer or like input to what you said. But yeah.
No, I get you though. A very good answer. I guess it's a thing where like have you ever heard the saying that if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a thing like that where you look around and you see like I like this person for that and I don't like that person for something else, and you just gradually tailor your experience to be more like more positive and uplifting and stuff like that. Like Mary, great example. Like I don't think I speak to Mary at all, like outside of random moments in person, but she's someone that seems to be the maddest, like doing some crazy stuff. I saw what's it? She's like making clothes now or something. Like
I
do
swear she doesn't. She
creations.
doesn't sleep. She doesn't
She does
sleep.
everything.
She doesn't. You know that triangle. You know that triangle I told you about. The like one thing you sacrifice. I'm pretty sure she doesn't sleep. I'm pretty sure because she dominates her academics. She does her clothing line. She's also like she's very active in literally every single society you can think of. Like she has like really good connections with her friendship, her tight group of friends. I think she's like dating at the moment. Oh, I feel like I'm putting her on blast, but basically she does everything. She does everything. She does it great, and she does no. The thing is not even like she does it great, but she does it to a good, an adequate standard. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like one area of her life is suffering or or you know what I mean, or needs attention. I feel like every area of her life has sufficient attention. And obviously I may be completely wrong, but from what she projects out, that's how it looks, and I feel like when looking at a positive aspect, when looking at how, if you want to take good things from another person, that's something that, I would look at and be like, yeah, this is a good thing to take.
Mm. I think it's funny you reference the triangle again, because I think, at least in the way I see it, there's some people like Mary, of course. I put Shaya in there, like Simi. Like these people seem to just disregard that entirely and do everything. At least from the outside looking in. Like
I don't know who the other
especially
people are.
Simi and Shaya are in great shape. They're always out doing things. They read a lot. Like how can you sacrifice anything and still do everything? I don't get it. There are some people that just like you're either someone like me, who just does like average, and then you're like top of
Gang,
the
gang.
like elite guys like that, like the Marys and the Simis and that. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm giving her way too much praise because I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we
it's
can
mad.
still we can still praise them. Everyone, should be praised for something or another in their life. But at the same time, I feel like it's not something that we should feel like, I guess, like, confused or stressed towards. But it's more just like, at the end of the day, again, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and we don't know what they've sacrificed, and we don't know how they work. Like some people just generally need to be active. Like, it's like restless leg syndrome. Some people can't stay still. Like I've been talking about in the beginning of this chat about people who in this lockdown are really struggling because they like being active, they like doing stuff. I remember I was actually messaging Mary the other day. Oh, well, I was actually asking her to, like, promote my YouTube video, but then I was like, how are you doing? And generally I was actually, how are you doing? Because I know that she's so active. So, people like her who are really active, it's actually, a genuine, I want to find out how you're doing because I know you're so active. And so it might just be one of those things where some people just need to be doing stuff, whereas other people like me, I can just be in my bed laying horizontally for until Christ's second coming, like, so I'm calm, whereas other people can't. So, it
Yeah,
maybe
that's
just
true.
be, so, yeah, that it may not even be a sacrifice for them. What, like,
Mm. I guess it comes down to love and the process. Like you mentioned before, how like you hate the learning aspect of uni, well, like the lectures and stuff. And I'm very similar. Like I don't mind engineering, but having to learn all this other crap is like I don't really find interest in that. I think there are some
mm,
people out there that just love what they do, and when you're in that position,
yeah,
it's hard to like you don't feel tired about doing something you love.
yeah, exactly. I remember like one night in Bath, I was like having this long ass conversation with Shaya. Um, and it was just basically about like, I'm still yet to find something that I actually like something that I want to do, like I really like. Because Shaya, for example, I don't know if you're actually, are you close with Shaya or did you talk to him or anything like
Not really, but I follow him around a lot. The
that?
power
No,
of Instagram.
stalker. But but he's really into like performing arts and all that, and he's very passionate about it. And I remember when he
Mm.
was telling me, um, he like sent me one of his what do you call it, text or whatever. Anyway, but I was kind of like, wow, like must be nice to be so passionate about something, like when you see people who are so passionate about things, it's like, wow, must be nice. Can't relate, but I
Mm.
really want to relate. So, yeah, and I think, yeah, when if you have a passion for it, it's like what they say, that corny thing, you never work a day in your life if you love what you're doing. So